Okay, so now we move on to things that may not be so obvious, although listening to many of the talks yesterday, I'm pretty confident that we are all on the same page. Three things: modular learning, omnichannel learning, lifelong learning. So let me start with lifelong learning. So what have we done so far with lifelong learning? So lifelong learning simply says that learning doesn't stop when you complete your bachelor's or master's and you go out into the world. You're going to be learning throughout life. That's lifelong learning. And in order to enable that, we've done a few things. Again, all of this is collaborative. We've done a few things so far. One is MicroMasters, okay, the new credential. We need new credentials for lifelong learning. Existing credentials are bachelor's and master's, but for lifelong learning, it became clear you need modular credentials that people can use and showcase their, what they know. So professional certificate programs is one example. MicroMasters is another credential. Meaningful modular credentials is one. So credentials. Second thing, corporate partnerships. You know, trying to figure out what do you need to learn, what do people need to know? And so edX has built a corporate advisory board, and that are advising us on what are the skills necessary. And also, our programs are given feedback and are endorsed by corporations as well to give learners confidence that these are meaningful in terms of lifelong learning. I just showed IBM as an example here. They're one of the endorsers of our endorsers of the cybersecurity program, for example, on edX. Other corporate partnerships. GE, for example, and so here the third aspect is career pathways. Okay, so one is new credentials, second one is corporate partnerships, and the third one is career pathways, and we need to do a lot more of career pathways. The example I'll use here is that a couple of weeks ago, GE announced that they will guarantee an interview for any graduate of MicroMasters in AI from Columbia, in cloud computing from Maryland, cyber from RIT, or supply chain from MIT. So again, just three ideas in terms of what we've done so far, but we can do so much more. So what must we challenge ourselves and set as one of our reimagine education goal number 3? So can we create a true community of learners on a sticky platform that learn continuously over a period of 5 years? Okay? So today what we find is that a learner learns for a year. It's very, very episodic. And there's some probability they'll come back in the second year. Okay, and we have numbers for that. And they're not great numbers. And so can we create a sticky platform where people keep coming back? Facebook is a sticky platform. Can we create a sticky platform? Can we make edX sticky? Where learners keep coming back for more, and let's develop a portfolio of credentials and content where they can show their achievements as one example, where they keep coming back to engage. Maybe more of a social persona, maybe more of social engagement with the platform. They keep coming back and wanting to learn over a period of 5 years. Let's get meaningful lifelong learning over 5 years for a given individual. Second, let's establish valued relevant credentials for lifelong learning. We have done MicroMasters. Let's do relevant credentials at different levels as well for lifelong learning. Third, let's expand what we've done with GE as an example and partner with corporations to create career pathways in a much, much broader manner for upskilling, for commitments to interview, commitments to employ, and truly establish the value of these lifelong credentials. Let's make a commitment to do that. Goal number 4, champion omnichannel education. So what's omnichannel education? Omnichannel education is much like omnichannel retail. So Amazon was a purely online company. Whole Foods was a purely in-person company. And there was a major, major revolution that happened 6 months ago when Amazon acquired Whole Foods. Okay, and that kind of presaged, set into motion what everybody kind of knew, that the future of retail is going to be omnichannel. Omnichannel means that some people will shop completely online, some people will shop completely in person, and there'll also be blends of both the digital and in-person channels where I might shop online but go pick it up in a store, or I might shop in a store and open the dishwasher and stick my head inside and look around and see if it looks good and then go buy it at an online site. So different blends of online and in person. Similarly, education will become omnichannel, okay? Education will become modular, education will become omnichannel, and education will become lifelong. And let's make that truly happen. So with omnichannel education, what have we done so far? So with omnichannel, what we have to do is all of us, whether it's edX, whether it's you, let's truly embrace omnichannel and agree that as universities or corporations, we are going to do both online and in person in a big way. So the three ways of thinking of omnichannel learning. One is online before campus, OBC. So here, the Global Freshman Academy, some pioneering work where learners can complete online an entire freshman year's worth of credit and then go to a university and then do in-person work. So that's OBC, online before campus. The second aspect of the MicroMasters is another example where you can complete a MicroMasters in artificial intelligence and then go to Columbia to the campus and complete the computer science degree on campus and transfer the credit over. The second one is ODC, online during campus. Okay, so let's say you're on a campus and you complete there's no reason why, if you view education, you go to campus for education, and online versus in person are just two delivery modes, and you do both. And we've seen many examples of pilots. The David Joyner here from Georgia Tech is doing this example at Georgia Tech, where the CS1 Python course is completely online, and campus students at Georgia Tech are taking this course completely online. Similarly, Sanjay talked about MIT similar experiments over fall of last year and spring of this year, and the research studies available that show the results of that. So that's online during campus. Is there any reason why students who are on campus can't do an online course? You should read some of those studies. I mean, students, as one example in the MIT study, students reported less stress because of the increased flexibility. So there's value to online even while on campus, of course, in addition to the in-person. You need both. Now, the third one is online after campus, OAC, online after campus. So here's an example where professional certificate programs where you complete a degree on campus and then you go and you become a lifelong learner, and then you, and once you have a family, you're working someplace, what are the odds that you're going to go back to campus and get a full degree? You've got a family, you've got a couple of kids, you got to you work, you got a couple of cars, you got a little backyard. What are the odds you're going to campus and get another degree? Virtually zero. Okay, so there, the only option that I truly see is online. And so online after campus is another example. And so professional certificate programs are something that we have done. So what can we commit to do over the next 5 years? And this is as much on you as it is on universities or corporates as it is on edX. One, this part is going to become uncomfortable, but what the heck? On OBC, online before campus, I would like all the universities here, we are a network. Okay, Sanjay this morning called us a innovation. This is really, think of this as an innovation network. It's a consortium, it's an innovation network. So let's just commit to doing the following. In 5 years, can we all commit that for those students who want to, they can accelerate 1 year of the bachelor's by doing something fully online? Like Global Freshman Academy. Accept 1 year of credit, boom, fully online. Can you commit to that? Second, ODC. Can you commit and have a goal that says that we will all allow our campus students to complete 20% of their campus credit towards a bachelor's degree completely online? 80% is all in person, but commit 20% completely online. And of course, many courses will also be blended. And there you can decide how you count a blended course, maybe half online or half in person and so on. Can we make that commitment? Heck, I want us to make that commitment. In 5 years, let's ask a question. How many of you were able to get your universities to offer 20% of learning on campus or an undergraduate degree fully online for those students who wanted that choice? Third, online after campus. So many universities today already do this, but many do not. How about we say that you will offer fully online degrees as well, or maybe online master's degrees, offer campus degrees, and also fully online degrees in many fields. Fully online degrees are perfectly okay. So that's another commitment. So can we all commit to OAC, OBC, and ODC in 4 years? And this is it's eminently doable. This is just it's a mere issue of policy. The implementation is kind of done. Let's make a commitment as one of our Reimagine Education goals, number 4, in 5 years. Finally, modular education. And by the way, modular, lifelong, omni-channel kind of go hand in hand. You need modular education for a lot of this. What is modular education? What have we done? So modular education is that you take chunky stuff that we have today and enable it to be divided into smaller bite-sized, not bite-sized, whatever, some size chunks. And there's many benefits to doing that. It's like Legos. So for example, a bachelor's degree today is like this big fat 4-year thing. Okay, you come in and you leave at the end. And if you leave along the way, say in 2 years, or let's say you leave a bachelor's degree in 1 year, you are called a failure. You've learned a lot. Why are you called a failure? Okay, even if you leave after 3.5 years, you are called a dropout. I don't get it. You've done 3.5 years. So can we create, so what we've done so far with modular education is we've divided up some of the things that were sacrosanct and big chunky things into more modular units. And one example of something modular is the MicroMasters. There's a full master's degree, and you can get a piece of it called a MicroMasters. Hey, it becomes a standalone credential, so you can get it. And once you get something modular, heck, you can do all kinds of cool things. It's like the Ginsu knife thing, you can slice, you can dice, you can cut. I mean, it's amazing. So you can just get it by itself. You can stack it up and get a full degree. Heck, you can even start sharing and so on. So the MicroMasters is one example of something that we've done that is modular. Another example of modular is unbundling. Unbundling says that why should I do everything? Okay, why can't I get some things from other people? And one example of that is instead of having everything bundled into one stovepiped unit, let's get some components from different people. So as one example, edX has piloted, and those of you who are involved in that know that, unbundling the student support services, the mentoring part. If for an online course, is there a way of creating partnerships with other organizations to provide maybe career guidance or support and so on? And we are building partnerships with companies that can help with that for many of the online courses. Becomes an unbundling of services, and this can only happen when you make things modular, where the company would have to create modular services. You can also do things like, as I said, helping students with careers. Why should one organization do everything? So just one example of something that you get for modularity. So can we do the following? In terms of committing to 3 goals as part of our reimagining goal number 5, building a fully modular system for education. The first one, can we simply commit to creating mezzanine credentials for bachelor's and master's degrees and just do it? The MicroMasters unbundles the master's degree. Can we do the same for bachelor's and create the microbachelor's? Okay, the name exists, microbachelor's now, right? So let's in the next 5 years, let's make sure we do the microbachelor's so that we create modular credentials. I know many of you are smiling, and I'm confident I told you earlier that I really hope to make some of you uncomfortable. Let's commit to make modular components. Can we go further? It's not just enough to create modular degrees. Can we break through other barriers, and can we work with the Department of Education and other ministries in your countries to provide financial aid and assistance for these modular credentials, just like for degrees? Let's do it. Let's make them first-class citizens, much like degrees are today. Second, can we offer to share? Once you make things modular, you can start, like Lego blocks, you can create Lego credentials, and you can stack them up in different ways. Okay? And some of this has already happened at the course level. So for example, Columbia and Microsoft collaborated where a Microsoft program used a Columbia course as part of their program. Okay, so we've seen these things happen and the world did not end. Okay, so let's try to make it, let's try to take it further. And can we create so for example, can we challenge ourselves for someone to offer a degree? Like, how about this? How about a online master's degree where the individual micromasters come from different organizations? I think there's a win-win for everybody. One is you don't have to do all the work to create all the components. And at yesterday's meeting with the university leaders, they kind of implied that it was just a financial problem. Look, edX will promise to work with you to solve that problem. I think it's a policy issue, as a governance issue. And can we agree to share and create credentials that combine these modules together? Third, can we create best-in-class partnerships with NGOs and others, not just for combining credentials, but also for other things like support? For online degrees, for example, can we unbundle services where some organization provides the support? So if I'm a corporation, within a corporation, how about we do this? A corporation gets a professional certificate program from a university through edX, and we partner with a company like Guild, for example, to get support services for learners. Here are examples where we can take these modular components and combine them in very interesting and useful ways. So let's see if we can commit to these three things going ahead.